Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Tekken School series. Today we're going to cover special hit properties. Okay, I kind of mentioned that in some other videos. I said like highs, while they're losing to ducking and to standing, they have usually some kind of extra property that makes them worth using, or they're just very fast. So today we're going to talk about these special properties, and it's going to be really important. The main things are going to be covered in the beginning. If it's too much for you to continue, you can just drop the end of the video. But if you stick, you'll learn a few more useful things. Okay, so what are special properties? So if you go to your move list, right, it's over here in practice mode, you see that some moves have these kind of icons near them, right? That's kind of like the way special properties are marked. And you'll see there is like this like Super Saiyan icon, this like shield icon. This icon is for rage art, and you have this kind of like icon. We're not gonna cover this one today. And you have this one, the recycle icon, or like I don't know how to call each one of them, but these are the different icons. Okay, so special hit properties. Okay, you probably heard some of them. So armor moves, counter hits, right? These are the common ones. Heat engagers. These are moves that put you into heat. Like the game mechanic, right? Like this. A move can have more than one property. It's also something that it's okay to keep in mind. So some moves have several properties. Okay, so today we're going to cover them. Let's start with the most important one, the most basic one, and it is counter hit. So in order to kind of demonstrate what counter hit is, we'll have the opponent block and then press. And the opponent will press a jab. Okay, like the opponent is just gonna jab. So counter hits, like for example, actually don't block. Yeah, okay, so this move is back one for Fang. Okay, it is 10 frame startup, so it's super fast, and it's +1. Okay, but on block it is actually punishable. Now one would ask himself, why would this be punishable, right? That doesn't make sense. Well, it's because it has a counter hit property. So when you are plus and you do a move, right? Your move will come out faster than the opponent's. That is usually called frame trapping. So for example, if I do a jab on +8, okay, my back one will come out before the opponent's. And that's when you get counter hits. So when we covered the frame episode, we kind of said, if you are plus, you become actionable first. That means your attack will come out first. Okay, now some moves have no counter hit properties, right? Like these jab strings. Okay, they just happen. It says counter, but nothing special happens from this counter hit. So, right, like this. It gives us one more damage. You can see like normal, it's 14, and on counter, it's 15. But some moves have special hit property counter hit. For example, this back one. So back one on counter hit will give you this follow up. Okay, now some moves give more, some give less, some are counter hit like combos, right? Some give these kind of knockdowns and all that. So counter hits, basically it's a special property, and every character has good counter hit moves, or almost every character has good counter hit moves that you want to find out about, because it's a good part of your gameplay. Okay, when you're plus, you want to start using moves that have counter hit properties, in order to get your opponent to kind of, you know, fall for something painful. Okay, so with that said, that's counter hit. There are a lot of different types of counter hits. Like there's like kind of launchers like this. Some moves that are like counter hit strings. For example, this is like +2, so right, but it's punishable. But if I hit it counter hit, which you can by the way check it like this, okay, you can see it suddenly becomes an insane launcher. So counter hits are really worth exploring. I feel like it's the main property that you want to kind of check today, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's move on to the next option. Okay, so the next option is armor. Okay, armor is another type of special property. You definitely seen this or heard of it. Super common. And basically armors look like this. They have this kind of like gray glow to them. Okay, and they're also on your heat engager, the heat engager thing, and they also work on your rage art. So let me set myself up with rage. Okay, even on your rage art. So you'll see that the armor is a bit different, but it does have armor. So how does armor work? Armor starts at frame 6, if I'm not wrong. So basically, if you're not like more than -6, you could armor through some of these jabs. So you'll see that if I do this, right? Let me actually set up the opponent to do armor now. Wait a moment. Exit without recording. Record. What's Shaheen's armor? Exit without recording. Wait, give me a moment here. They're not telling me. They're being rude. Okay, wait. I'll just use the armor myself. Okay, game, you got me. So let's set up the opponent to block. Now I'll do something that's minus. For example, this is -3. So when I'm doing this, I can use my armor move, right, to armor through the opponent's attacks. Now the opponent may recover sometimes if he uses fast attacks and you won't hit him. But as you can see, I can armor through. I don't get like fully hit, and I take great health instead of actual health. Okay, so that's like one thing armor can do. So armor is good at taking back your turn. Be careful, because during armor, obviously you're in counter hit state. So if somebody counters you, you'll hit the hit. Because armor moves are weak to lows. Okay, so let's say for example, okay, let me record him doing a low instead. So record. And he will do a low. Okay, and this low will come out after I jab him. Okay, so I do jab, he loads. Now if I use my armor move, you'll see that I get counter hit and the armor move is cancelled. So armors, they can take in mids and highs, but they get hit by lows. Okay, so it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors kind of games where you have to kind of figure out if your opponent wants to do armor, then you can beat it with a low. If they don't do an armor, then right, you're plus, so you can take your turn. So keep these things into consideration. So armor moves, they're really nice. Some of them are safe. If they're safe, usually they're highs, generally speaking. Right, so you can see this one is -9, but they're usually minus. There's like just like a few exceptions that aren't. Yeah, if they are mid power crushes, generally they're punishable. So you can grab like a small punish with like your jabs, or maybe a bigger punish depending on your character. With that said, armor, weak to lows, good for taking back your turn. As a new player, if you're not sure how to take back your turn, somebody's being very oppressive, maybe an armor move is your solution. It's really good against players who use slow moves, okay? Slow mids, slow highs, that's a good solution. Okay, and remember, you have also this universal armor, okay, with the heat engager move, right? It's a good way to kind of like stop time and catch an armor move and take your turn. Last armor move is like the rage art, right? We kind of mentioned it. Rage art is kind of unique that it has armor, but it's not counter hit by lows. Okay, lows do not stop it. I mean, you get hit, but it comes out no matter what, as long as you don't lose all your health, at least. Okay, so these are armor moves. They're really important. Armor moves, counter hits, I feel like these are the main two things you want to take away. Now we're going to sprint through the rest of the moves, just to kind of like, yeah. Okay, so the next thing we kind of want to know, the next special type of move is a homing move. Okay, and you may have heard homing, tracking. People kind of use them and sometimes not sure which one is which. Homing move is a move that has these kind of like neon lights to it. You see that there's like this kind of like glow that comes out with the moves. These moves are moves to hit sideways. Okay, so usually they're maybe a bit slower, or maybe unclear why they're so slow, so weak. Okay, these moves are good for catching people stepping. So for example, I'll tell the opponent here to walk to my left. And down for 1 is a 0 on block move, okay? And after I do this, it will catch him, okay? You'll see that if I do another one, he does not get hit. If I do like jabs, maybe the second one will hit, right? But yeah, just this one jab whiffs, right? A lot of things whiff, but this move, it catches. So you don't have to worry about them too much, because in the beginning, people are not really stepping. They're definitely not walking. So you don't have to worry about these kind of moves, but you have to know they exist. Also, I'd like to kind of explain the difference between homing and tracking. So let's say somebody sidesteps left, okay? I have a move like down back free, okay? And it catches people walking, stepping to the left, okay? The reason we're not saying it's homing is because it does not catch everything. It just has tracking. So it's capable of catching people as they're trying to move sideways, but it's not guaranteed like a homing move would, right? This is guaranteed. Okay, these are the recycle moves, by the way. They're the ones, the little spinning arrow. Okay, next hit special property. Okay, next special property is the heat engager. Heat engagers are basically moves to put you into heat on a hit. Okay, so every character has a bunch of them. Usually they're listed fairly early in the move list. So you'll have like this area over here, where they kind of show you what your heat engagers are. Every character has a bunch of them. It's good to know a bunch of your heat engagers, because heat is very strong. It gives you this kind of like, you see these like dashes that put you in a very advantageous position to kind of pressure your opponent, right? So it's good to keep in mind, right? Have like a heat engager or two. Sometimes the move could be both heat engager and an armor move, or heat engager and like a homing move. So these things sometimes overlap. It doesn't matter too much. Just make sure you know heat engager or two. Okay, so these are heat engagers. There's nothing too much to explain about them. Just that like on hit, they would put you into this kind of like dash thing and start your heat timer. Okay, next special property is called clean hit. Okay, you may have seen this at the bottom left. You'll see like properties of moves. You'll see the startup, you'll see damage, all these things. There's also these kind of like clean counter punish wall, okay, that it says there. So we know what counter hit is, right? This thing, punish basically means that you catch somebody after they did you catch somebody in their recovery frames. Wall means you hit somebody on the wall. So what's a clean hit? Clean hits basically means, in the most simplified way, is that you hit somebody very close, okay? You see that this kind of like turns on the clean hit signifier, okay? This move is called sidestep 4 for Fang. Okay, it's a low launcher. It's very fast, as you can see. It's very strong. It leads to a lot of damage, right? So why is it allowed to be so strong? Who knows? But it has the clean hit property. So as you can see, now it doesn't light up and we don't get this launch, okay? But when we get close enough, it will. So this is what clean hit means. Not all characters have clean hits, so it's not something you have to kind of worry about. But it is something that exists if you're ever wondering why a move sometimes works one way but sometimes work another. It could be that it's a clean hit property. Okay, the next and I think final special property in this game is what we call adjust frame. Okay, adjust frame basically means, in the most simplified way, that you hit a move at a specific timing. Okay, so you'll see this move is called forward 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 free, right? You see it does 32 damage right now, right? But if I delay the second hit by a little bit, see, it does more damage. The reason is because it has adjust frame, okay? And you can tell adjust frame based on these kind of blue sparks that appear where I'm hitting. Okay, you'll see, right? This is how it looks like. Okay, that's the difference. Some characters have more of these, some characters don't have them at all. This, again, not something you have to worry about unless you play like Lee as a beginner. But yeah, generally speaking, some of them are harder to do, some of them are easier. Depends on the character. But just frames basically means you hit the button at a specific timing the game wants you to. Okay, that's what just frame means. Or just on the frame, because you're supposed to hit it only on these frames. That's like the meaning of the name. Okay, these are all the special property moves. In the next video, we're going to cover combos and launchers and the tornado moves that also have an icon. right? So we're gonna cover them. With that said, homework for today, okay? Find at least one armor move, okay? I want you to have one armor move in your arsenal of moves. Second thing, I want you to find 2 counter hit moves. Now, one of them has to be a counter hit launcher. So for example, for Fang, this is the counter hit launcher. And the second one, I just want it to have a counter hit property. It doesn't even have to give you anything, but plus frames, right? But I want it to have a counter hit property. So something that does something different on counter hit than it does on normal hit, right? Right, these are the same moves I did earlier. On counter hit, does something else. Okay, so 2 counter hit moves, 1 armor move. Okay, it cannot be this move. Okay, it has to be a different armor move. With that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, bye.